they're going to put me in jail because I'm too influential and I'm too dangerous. If I say I can influence an election right now. And they've tried to get me to sell my soul. I'm not going to give too many stories, but on multiple occasions, they've tried to get me to sign contracts and offer me a bunch of money to shut up, accuse him of something, put him in jail. And if that doesn't work, then it's like, oops, car crash. That's the end. Because Icarus flew too close to the sun. It's scary, right? So you have to be very self-reflective of these things. But yeah, how much is enough? I don't know. I hope I'm going to balance it just right, and I'm going to save the world and awaken people from the Matrix and stay breathing as long as possible.
Voicing people, I'm sure you've heard about Andrew Tate's recent arrest. In this video, we're going to react to his cousin's reaction to Andrew Tate's arrest. So if you haven't already, click the subscription button and the bell icon so you'll always be notified when there's a new video uploaded. As I always say, it doesn't cost you anything, it just supports me continue doing what I'm doing here and putting these videos out. Give this video a thumbs up. So without further ado, let's just get started.
The first thing I want to tell you guys is I promise you that Tate is too rich and too smart to do anything illegal. He's been too rich and too smart to do anything illegal for a very, very long time. As long as I've lived with him, I've never seen him do anything illegal at all in any way, shape, or form. Tate also, because he's foreseen of things, he always knew that this would happen. He's told you guys this would happen. He has many interview clips where he said this would happen. It's a 3-life process when you're someone that that let's say the Matrix or the...
I love the fact how they always keep saying the Matrix, but there's an element of truth to it. The thing though here is, which is worth noting, obviously if you're rich and if you become famous by being super controversial, you know that there are certain steps that will be taken against you, whether it is them trying to cancel you, you don't get platforms to speak on, etc. So it doesn't take a genius to understand like, hey, I'm walking on very thin ice here, so at any moment something could potentially happen to me, right? But then again, he does say some explosive stuff which will naturally cause some backlash at some point.
Mainstream news or the people in charge do not like you. It's a 3-step process. First, they try and cancel you. So they tried to cancel Tate, they really did. Unfortunately for them, they failed. So they failed on that end. So, if they fail on canceling you, what's the next move? Well, the next move is jail.
I don't know what you guys feel about all this cancel stuff and cancel culture. Leave me your comments in the comment section below. Let's start the discussion around it. But I think you can only be cancelled if your entire being evolves around a specific medium that is prone to being cancelled or not. I don't think his revenue streams are not tied up exclusively to being an influencer. Whether you cancel him or not, it doesn't really affect someone who's making his money, his living. Off camera, the cancel thing doesn't really work, especially someone like Andrew Tate. His character, his demeanor feeds off negative criticism. So I think you're helping him, you know, you're just feeding his movement really. Like, didn't I tell you they would?
And by the way, you can see this playbook. They do this playbook with Julian Assange. They do it with credible people. It's what they do. First, they try and discredit you and cancel you, so no one listens to you. If people keep listening to you, then they have to try and discredit you further and try and put you in jail. That's the next move. And that's what the Matrix has done. The Matrix is now trying to put Andrew in jail. It's completely bogus charges, but unfortunately, Romania is, you guys can look this up, is known for corruption, and unfortunately corruption also works to where if the mainstream and the Matrix wants you, they can find a corrupt judge to sign a bullshit paper to get your house raided. And that's really what it is. It's one judge signs one paper and now your house gets raided, and then you get, and that's how it goes. That's just how it goes.
The problem is that there's so many moving parts in a system like this. I wouldn't even say like the developed countries are more corrupt than the undeveloped countries in certain aspects. You just don't see it. It happens behind closed doors. But if you're somebody who's a thorn in someone's eye, who sits in power and say like, hey, this guy is ruining our plan, it is historical, repeating pattern. It's have always been like that. There's 2 ways: they either discredit you, call you crazy, you lose integrity in people's eyes, so they call you crazy, or they're rid of you. It sounds harsh, but it is the truth. Don't take it from me, don't take it from him. Do your research. Historically, this has always been.
So, Obviously, that's all in the news now because that's what it takes to discredit, right? Just the house raid alone is massively discrediting. Julian Assange, right? I don't know if you guys know who that is. He's the WikiLeaks guy who reported a bunch of news that the US government didn't want to get reported. Then one day, out of nowhere, some Swedish girl said that he raped her. And there's no evidence at all that that happened ever. And I'm pretty sure the charges were dropped and it never even went to court. But by then he ran away and hid in exile in some embassy. He was in that embassy forever. Then they dropped those charges and they added on some new charges.
So to make it short here, yes. So if you do something that goes against mainstream media or mainstream views, yes, they will try everything, or probably will try in one way, shape or form to discredit you and take away that platform that you used or have to spread further truth or not truth. It's up to everyone to judge, for themselves, do your research and understand who this Julian Assange guy is and what he's done, etc., etc., etc. But what makes me always think a little bit is like, what has happened after? Yes, you open people's eyes, but it hasn't changed anything in the grand scheme of things, because they will put you away, and yet humanity is used to its ways that it doesn't get out of its way, cause a change. This is how humanity is, something is getting hyped up to a level where it's like, oh my god, because we're so bored, we need the sensationalism, right? But do we actually change? It's difficult, Yeah, it does a little bit something to you as an individual, but it doesn't change the grand scheme of things, unfortunately, unfortunately.
Is about something about leaking sensitive information, like a sort of terrorist thing. So anyway, that's the playbook they played on Assange. Step 2 done. Will they attempt step 3? Because step 3 is, if they can't cancel you, and if they can't put you in jail, or if jail doesn't ruin your influence, the next thing they do is they kill you. They Epstein you. And Andrew's clearly said on multiple podcasts, he will never kill himself. Andrew knew that this would happen eventually. It was always a possibility on the board. It was always, okay, well, we've done well in not getting canceled. Yeah. We're not gonna shut up because we're gonna keep changing lives for the better. And okay, so that means step 2 is jail. And Andrew expressed in many podcasts that he knew that that was the case, and that's why he was worried. And obviously he was worried for a good reason.
The fact that he says like, hey, I'm not gonna kill myself, and if it happens, it wasn't me, kind of, right? What effect does that have on people? Is it gonna make you like, oh my god, and we have to overthrow the system, etc.? Or you're like, yeah, that done it to him. But anyways, what's for dinner, darling? Is it gonna actually spark a change? History is a repeating pattern. In a sense, you sometimes feel like, house always wins, and that's a problem.
Reason, as we can see now, because frankly, I'm extremely surprised this happened. I've been living with the guy forever, and I can tell you guys, it's not true in any way.
Oh, I didn't know that he had a cousin that lived with him. It was just him and brother.
I actually can't believe it. It makes me really not trust the justice system at all in any way, shape, or form.
Not trusting the justice system, I think, is wrong to an extent, because without the justice system, we would live in absolute carnage and lawlessness, right? There's this movie that's called Purge, right? So it will literally be like this, and there's some nutcases out there that are preparing for stuff like that on a daily basis. Unfortunately, still to date, the justice system in any country, it doesn't matter where you are, developing, undeveloped, third world, first world, second world, it doesn't matter. The justice system is very maneuverable by the powerful, right? Money speaks, power speaks, right? If you have a certain level of money, it's all about then getting into the power position. And when you've got power, you get away with certain things. Let me know in the comment section below. What do you think about Andrew Tate's arrest? Do you think there's something behind the curtains that we don't know about Andrew Tate? Or do you think it really is what he's saying, right? They just want to cancel him, put him in jail, and the next step would be, what they're saying here is removing him from the scene. With that, guys, thank you very much for watching this reaction. If you haven't already, please click the subscription button and the notification bell. It's free, just do your brethren a favor here. Give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my next videos. Peace out.